Hey guys, welcome to another stream here. Um, Today I'm actually on spring break. If you're wondering why I'm streaming so early today, I'm on spring break for the week here. Debating on doing a video stream today, and I decided to do a stream today. So welcome to the stream, everyone. Here, we're going to talk about a possible upcoming massive winter storm here. It looks like potentially it's a few days out, but we're going to have to watch that. I'm going to make sure here that my audio is working before we start the stream here. Okay, it is working here. So welcome to the stream, everyone. We're gonna start talking in just a second here. So let's get into it here. So I'm gonna move this over here, and we're gonna look at radar here. First thing we're looking at today's stream here. and we're seeing that there is a slight risk of severe weather that continued into today here with the threat of damaging wind, maybe a little bit of hail, and maybe a slight tornado chance, but the slight tornado chance is mainly near Atlanta here. That's where we have that 2% chance, and I'll show you guys that in just a few minutes here. We see there's quite a bit of rain showers, really nothing severe going on at the moment, luckily, so that's some good news we have here. But we do have some just general rain showers going on through Alabama all the way up to the northeast here. We're seeing some rain showers here. We're not seeing as much here in Pennsylvania here. But we have a little line of storms here that isn't really prompting any warnings at the moment, at least. So we see some rain showers up here. So, but really nothing too big going on here. After these storms pass by, you should be clear. You may see, looks like behind here we do have a little bit of showers going on, but no severe weather expected after this line moves through here, because this is our cold front moving through. So we're going to bring some cooler air here. So let's move on here. So here's our thumbnail of the video here, and we'll look at the analysis, what it looks like the temperatures wise at the moment here. So this is our temperatures as of right now. So we're looking at, and we see about most areas southeast here around 80, potentially getting near 90 degrees down there in Florida. Well, this cold front will be moving through, so you'll see those temperatures go down once it comes through. Because some of these areas that are 30s here, this is the area we saw severe weather yesterday, and we saw near 70 degrees in most of these regions. If I show you what it looked like yesterday here, look at that. Look at how big of this cold front is. It was around 70 degrees. Cold front moves through here, and now it is about here in this region around 47 degrees. So it went from 70 to 47 degrees here. So a big cold front's moving through with cooler air for sure here for these areas. So very big cold front that has moved through for most of these areas. Let's look at our moisture here, see how much moisture we have for these areas here. And we don't have too much up here near northeast where we have a slight risking effect here. But we do have about 50s, maybe getting near 60s here. Really nothing though too big up here, so we might not see too much severe weather, but we may see a little bit of severe weather up here. But don't forget our outbreak that happened in Iowa the other day. Here had about 50s, not even 60 degrees for most of those areas. So we could still get severe weather and 50-degree dew points here. So we do have some moisture up there that can prompt some severe weather up there. To the south, we have a little more in our moisture here for around 60-degree dew points, even near 70 down here near the Gulf here. So we are seeing quite a bit of moisture down here. This is why they have a little concern of a possible tornado threat. Just 2% chance. That's not a big threat here, luckily. So, but we do have a threat of maybe a tornado or two there. Look at the moisture the last few hours. See how much moisture there's been. There's quite a bit of moisture yesterday here, and then we continue to see that moisture in Mississippi, Alabama, but there wasn't really anything going on. There really isn't anything going on right now. Just general rain showers, really, at the moment here. Let's look at the wind chills or heat index here. We have 80s, really nothing too big down here. Up here we have around 70 degrees as wind chills here. Uh, and then up here in the northeast we are kind of warm here, around 60 degrees there, so pretty warm. Let's look at the wind gusts here, see what the winds look like for these areas, and we're seeing some strong winds up here around Ohio, West Virginia, 22, 30-degree wind gusts here, so that's blowing around here. So even getting near potentially 40, it looks like. So 50 almost close to in West Virginia there, so be careful with this wind. We had some of this wind in my area the other day, and it was pretty windy, so I'm sure it's windy in some of these areas here before the cold front is moving through here. So just be prepared, there may be some windy conditions here, so and that front will be moving through. So enjoy the warm air while you can. So that's basically what's going on right now with the wind gust. Looks like we see some strong wind gusts for most of the northeast here, most of the southern northeast here. Let's move on to our future radar here. So here is our future radar for the next few hours here, and we're seeing some rain showers continuing for all the way from Alabama all the way up to Canada. We're seeing some rain showers potentially. Some stronger storms are possible for our areas of Alabama, Georgia. I don't plan on going live today over that. I'm just planning on going live talking about this next possible winter storm, but I'm not going to go live over the severe weather because it's not looking too big. And then, really, by 11 p.m. tonight, there's really no severe weather going on. Maybe some snow flurries up in the northeast, maybe lake effect here. And then we see some more rain develop tomorrow around 9 p.m. And it's not expected to be severe. We see some snow potentially for some areas in the northeast. It moves out, and then we get ready for our bigger storm here that we're going to have to watch very, very closely. As there's going to be one round, there's going to be a round coming from up here, and then our second round will develop down here and get bigger as it moves toward the northeast here. So I'll show you that in just a second here, but first I want to talk about this round here. We're going to see this develop for areas of Idaho, Wyoming, and then it heads into Colorado, and then Kansas, into areas of Nebraska, Iowa. It shows some very heavy snow potentially too here for these areas. So if you're in these areas, you may see some heavy snow going on there for those areas here. But we are going to see some rain showers down the southeast here too again tomorrow. So you may see a flash flooding threat. So flash flooding is a big threat here. So just be prepared if you're in that zone for some flash flooding going on. Okay, let's move on to our GFS here. We're going to look at the GFS, see the next winter storm potentially here. So this is the 12-0 and the 18-0, and then come out for a little while. So we see that next rain, thunderstorms. I don't expect any severe weather from that really. Maybe a marginal burst of severe weather, but nothing probably too big. We see that next winter storm here. This one's not going to be the big one. It's this one right here. This big winter storm here that will be moving toward the northeast, bringing potentially some heavy, heavy snow for these areas here. So you watch that play out here. You see it develops down there in Arkansas and Tennessee. Some heavy snow here for Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, and then it moves into the northeast. Some heavier snow, but like Rhode Island, Connecticut, potentially southern Maine. Some of those areas may see less snow because it won't really get close to those areas. It's going to be mainly the northern areas and northeast. Here it's looking like with this next storm here, as we show here. Let's see right now. We're going to just see what the toes are. Don't quite focus on these toes quite yet because these are still likely to change. I'll show them to you guys, see where the heaviest amount of snow is possible. If my thing decides to load here. One second. Okay. And we watch here and keep going forward. There's that snow in Kansas and Missouri, bringing heavy snow there. And then look at that, some very heavy snow potentially. It shows our heaviest will be probably in northern northeast here, and potentially some areas of Pennsylvania, West Virginia here. The purple, or this purple color here, is about a foot here of snow, but these totals are likely going to change, but I want to just let you guys know that it shows some very, very heavy snow up here for the northeast, northern northeast, but you can see the southern areas in the northeast here, we're seeing less snow because most of the snow will be more north here of those areas. So we're going to be seeing less snow for those areas. But we will see some heavy swath of snow here for these areas here from Tennessee all the way up to Canada here. And some very heavy snow up here in Canada. Near 24, I think, near foot of snow. Yeah, 24, 29. That's quite a bit of snow here. And then we see the storm about 7 inches from the first round. We're going to have to watch very closely. So we can't just depend on one model though. We always got to look at a different model here. So we're going to look at the Euro model here. Let's move on to the Euro, see if that's showing a similar thing that the GFS is showing here. So we're now looking at the Euros, that storm that's moving out with the cold front. And then we see that other chance of rain showers for the southeast. Then we see the next round of snow. It shows it a little weaker as instead of the GFS. GFS shows a stronger storm. This one shows a weaker storm for the first round here. And then our second round, it shows some heavy snow here for the northeast here. But it agrees with GFS that southern areas will probably see less snow here. It looks mainly like rain. For southern northeast, northern northeast looks like quite a bit of heavy snow going on there, but it looks like a very fast system here, so you might get some heavy snow, but it won't be lasting too long, as you can see here. they'll move out very quickly here. Let's look at those snowfall totals here on the Euro. Like I said, it's a little far out, so these totals could change. But let's look how heavy the storm, how much snow it thinks that could be possible here. And it's similar to the GFS, really. It shows heavy snow in the north here, maybe near a foot here. For some of these areas, it shows less snowfall here in Canada, not as much as it showed. And it shows some heavy snowfall all the way down here to Mississippi here. So it still thinks we'll see quite a bit of snow all the way down to Mississippi near Arkansas here. So some very heavy snow will be possible. We'll have to watch this closely. Then our first round here shows less snow. So shows a little less amounts for these areas here, but really close to the same near the GFS. A little less totals for this area here. But most of this area looks similar to the GFS here, so we'll have to watch that closely. Let's look at another model here. It's our Canadian model here. So we're going to look at that one here, see what that one shows here, the GTPS or the CMC. I like to call it the CMC here. So fast forward, that storm moves out. And then our first round here, we see some heavy snow. This one agrees with the GFS with the first storm here. I'll move it a little more down here. And then it moves in the northeast, but this one shows a little lighter of a snowstorm here. It doesn't show as fierce of a storm as the GFS in Euro is showing. So this is 12Z earlier, but it's not showing as big of a snowstorm as GFS in Euro is saying here. So welcome to Stream Elevator Tours by Rain Mavens. Welcome to the stream here. But yeah, that's gonna move out quickly here. So let's look at these totals, see how heavy the snow is possible to be. As it takes a minute here. And wait a minute here. Actually, still shows some very high amounts here, so I guess it is thinking some heavy snow. It just doesn't look like on the reflectivity that's heavy snow. Still thinks maybe about a foot up in these areas, so it does agree with the GFS and the Euro here. They both agree with that here, that there will be some heavy snow here. So they're all agreeing really on this area will see some heavy snow. This is still a few days out, so don't expect heavy snow quite yet, but be prepared for maybe some heavy snow here. Looks like you guys will get at least some sort of snow, it thinks here, but it shows heavy amounts as of right now. This is still quite a few days out, so that's why I wouldn't get guaranteed that there will be some heavy snow up here. I think this is still around Saturday this is supposed to happen. So it's about 6-7 days out about here before the storm hits. So in this area is gonna move down south, north. It will move. It'll likely change and move an area. So don't depend on the total here of what's showing here. Then our first round, it doesn't show as fierce as the GFS here. About near the Euro saying, but I think the Euro saying a lot less, but still quite a bit of snowfall it shows here for the first round here. Some heavy snow here, probably near 6 feet, I think, or 6 feet, 6 inches, sorry, for some of these areas, but not as big as the GFS is showing here. So, very interesting there. This one then goes down all the way to Mississippi. On this one, it shows most of the snow will be more near the northeast here, it doesn't show going all the way down to Mississippi. Okay, now let's look at the severe weather threat here. I'm gonna look at that here. Let me see if we can look at the NAM actually of the first storm, because I know we can't look at the second storm with the NAM here, but see if we can look at the first storm with the NAM here, and then we'll look at the severe weather side of this. So I know the NAM just updated here, and we're seeing some heavy snow possibly moves into some areas. This one looks a little more north here with the first round here. So it looks like it doesn't quite make it into Missouri here, but it does impact near Chicago, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan here, seeing some light, maybe some heavier snow for northern Missouri. So it is agreeing with your own GFS with the intensity here, but not in the exact location. It's thinking a little more north, and it moves toward like Iowa, Wisconsin. It doesn't quite make it as south as both those models are thinking here. The first round. Okay, now I'll look GFS, see if there will be a severe weather threat, and I think there will be some sort of severe weather threat with this next storm system. So this one's gonna move out our storm system now. This storm may cause some severe weather. We'll look at the instability and stuff. And then this storm, I think we will at least see some severe weather from it. Looking like we will have some instability, some moisture for these areas, for these storms here. So I think we will see some severe weather with this storm. Not just snow. I think severe weather will be a hazard we'll have to watch here. To look at that, we gotta look at the instability here, or our CAPE. So here we are gonna look at the surface-based CAPE, and wait a second here. Okay, and then we aren't seeing really much CAPE for this next storm that will be moving through some of the areas in the southeast. But when it gets to the massive snowstorm here, shows some. Oh my gosh, sorry. The thing down here is annoying. There we go. Shows when we get to the next storm, we will have about 100 joules per kilogram for some of these areas in Alabama, into Georgia or Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, maybe a little bit of North Carolina here. We'll see some CAPE. Shows very low values, but like I said, our last storm system, it showed about 100 joules per kilogram. By the time we got to the event, it was about 1,000 joules per kilogram, or even near 2,000 potentially it was the other day with those severe storms in Iowa. But a few days before on the GFS, it was just showing 100 joules per kilogram. So this can go up here, so that's why I think we will have some sort of severe weather threat. Even if it's a marginal risk of severe weather, I think we will have some sort of severe weather risk with that storm system that brings the heavy snow to the northeast. So you'll have to watch out for that here in the southeast, because we might get some severe storms down there. Let's look at that moisture here, see how much moisture we have for these areas for the next storm here. So we see the one here moves out. May see a little bit of moisture return for the next storm, but I don't think that'll bring too big of severe weather here. And then our other storm bringing the snow to the northeast. There is some high dew points down here, so there is some moisture for these thunderstorms. So I think we will have some sort of severe weather threat. Okay, another thing we gotta look at here is our shear. So the higher the shear, the better chance of possibly tornadoes here. And if it decides to load here, and as we see, this the storm that's been hitting here. We're gonna fast forward past then, and then maybe some shear for the next storm. But like I said, I'm not too concerned for that storm there. That will be potentially impacting some areas southeast, but looks like mainly rain showers, maybe a little bit of severe weather risks. But the next storm system we see here has quite a bit of wind shear going on here for the next storm system here. So I will be concerned for maybe some sort of tornado risk here. There's about, I think this is about 100 knots here. So that's quite a bit of shear here for the next storm here. So we will have to watch that very, very closely. It's still 108 hours out. I think we will see some sort of severe weather for areas of the southeast here. So be on alert for that over the next little bit. Okay, our LCL height is the last thing I'll look at here. So basically, the lower the values, the better chance of tornadoes hitting the ground. So, and if we get close to when the storm's about to happen here, we see some low LCL height, meaning it's a possibility of some tornadoes hitting the ground. So, but after the storm moves out, we see some high LCL height, so we won't see as big of a tornado risk. But usually we don't see any tornado risk after the storms move out, so. But that's what's showing here, some low LCL height for this area. Low LCL height means better chance for tornadoes to hit the ground. And we have that going on for the southeast here, so we will have to watch, like I said, for some sort of severe weather chance. So we'll have to watch that over the next little bit. Kind of like our other storm, we really gotta watch it very closely over the next week or so as it gets closer. Because if we remember the Iowa thing that just happened the other day, it was showing some of these similar things here. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely here over the next little bit. So yeah. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to cover here in today's stream mainly. So that there could be a possible coming winter storm here. So, and then maybe some severe weather in the southeast. So, Any questions in the chat here before I end the stream here? Because I don't think there's anything else. Oh yeah, I did want to actually do that real quick. Okay, I want to real quick let you guys know the SPC outlook. I did tell you I would show you guys that. I forgot to do that earlier, so I'll show you guys that now real quick. But if you have any questions, let me know in the chat, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Okay, we have the light green, that's our general thunderstorms. We really don't see really much severe weather happening in the light green areas. They're just supposed to be regular thunderstorms, just your regular thunderstorms you see. Then the darker greens means marginal. That's when we see a more isolated threat of severe weather, potentially seeing a brief tornado and or some hail, small hail, and or 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, but nothing too major usually. And the marginal risk, it's usually just kind of a higher end or low end slight risk, I would say, or a high end general thunderstorms here. So we don't really see too much usually go on in the marginal risk, but we do sometimes see a little bit go on in the marginal risk. The yellow region is our slight risk, 2 out of 5 on the scale. We see usually a few tornadoes sometimes happen, but it depends on the tornado risk. Today we don't really have much of tornado risk, but down here a marginal tornado risk. And or some hail usually sometimes gets up to an inch, but we're not expecting about an inch of hail in this region. Our hail is about a marginal risk. But then our wind could get up to 60 to 70 sometimes in this area, and we do have that today, 60 to 70 possible mile per hour winds in this area. So if you're in this area, you might want to watch out for some high wind gusts here for these areas of the southeast into some areas of the northeast here. So be on alert for some severe weather. It's not a big risk, but still 2 out of 5, so you have a better chance of seeing severe weather here. Here's our tornado risk. Like I said, it's a marginal risk, really, of tornadoes, 2% chance for areas of Alabama and Georgia here. Look at our hail risk. Our hail risk, like I said, actually there is no hail risk today, so I think we could see some small hail, but most likely we won't see probably anything really too much. Even though it says less than 5% chance of hail, you could still see hail, but usually it's less likely if you don't have a risk of hail. So there's no risk of hail according to what they said actually. And then our 5 and then 15% chance of wind here, so we will see some potentially wind up to 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, or 60 to 70 maybe. So mile per hour winds. So just be careful if you're in this area. There is a possibility of some severe weather. As we head into tomorrow, we do have a slight marginal risk here for areas of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and some parts of Georgia. Very low risk, 1 out of 5 on the scale. So look at that tornado risk with it. See a 2% chance, so there is a chance of maybe a tornado or two for this area tomorrow. So we'll have to watch that closely. Our wind threat here, or not wind, hail, sorry. So used to it being the wind. No risk of hail tomorrow, according to what they say. And then our wind threat is a 5% chance here, so we will see a possible wind threat here. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely. Okay, other than that, that's all I wanted to really cover in today's stream here. So let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat before I end the stream here. So I can get your questions. Anyone have any questions in the chat on anything? Like I said, snowfall, I could give you a snowfall amount, but like I said, it'll likely change if I do give you one. Covered though everything I need to cover here, so I'm not seeing any questions. So I guess I'll be ending the stream here. Give it one more minute here to see if there's any questions in the chat. Not looking like it. Okay. Well, if I have a, I'm not planning on having a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow will probably be just a regular video. So I don't plan on having a stream tomorrow. I may have one later this week. It depends here, but right now I'm not expecting one the rest of this week. So unless if I do like a video style kind, like make the slides and show them off in a stream, that may be what I do for the next stream here. If I do another one this week. But yeah, that's everything here. So thank you guys for watching. Now, like I said, please like and subscribe. I don't usually say that very often, but please like and subscribe. It would help a lot. Um, and yeah, see you guys in the next stream or video. Stay safe if you're in there. Severe weather risk for today.